Hello YouTube and welcome back to Banner Rules Gaming KSP. As you can see, we're exactly where we left off as promised. So using the nav ball, I am now going to try and get us into position to find our target vector, which is this blue one here. I'll use the time warp facility to just stop that there. We'll leave that where it is and we will time warp towards our burn. Now what we want to do when we're burning is, the time here says it's a 52-second burn, so at 26 seconds half of that will start the burn. As you can see, we're 30 minutes away from the burn here. We need to do almost a full rotation of Kerbin, so we'll get to that position and we'll do our burn. So we'll time warp up to that position, being very careful not to go over it. La 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 la. Remember, it's going to be at 26 seconds that we want to execute our burn. Halfway between the two timers. Yep, I'm repeating myself. Slow that down a little bit. Come on. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Slow that down. We'll wait the extra bit. Get onto the target vector again. Get the SAS on, so we're starting to use the electricity again. And we will initiate our burn now, full throttle, and we're burning, and you can see here the delta V is going down, as is our fuel, quite rapidly. Are we going to have enough in this stage to complete the burn? Only one way to find out. I've not used the most effective engine for this as well, as you may well notice. Some of you would be arguing I should have probably put that Terrier engine on this stage. But I didn't, so there we go. We are going to run out of fuel and have to complete it with the Terrier engine, so it's not going to be as effective, and we are going to start eating into our lander stage, which is a shame. If we had been more fuel efficient getting up here in the first place, we could have possibly done it. Now we're going to come out here to this view using the M key. I'm going to stop saying that now because you know it by now, I've said it enough times, just to slow the throttle down. So we don't go shooting past where we want to get to, and we'll have a bit more control. And you can see here that our delta V is climbing quite nicely, very nicely, or lowering rather. I'm just going to keep slowing down as we push out towards the apparatus. And we're going to stop now, just really gently. Let's get back on that target vector and let's just watch that down to a nice safe amount. We're in a good position, burning very slowly. It's having a massive effect. The ideal time to be burning, or place to be burning, is at the slowest part of your, we'll just leave that there, 25,000. Oh, where did we get to here? 13. Alright, let's bring it down. Let's just keep that burning. The slowest part of your orbit. If you burn at the slowest part of your orbit, it's going to have a much greater effect on your actual trajectory. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. We're just going to leave it there. So we'll click X on this little bit down here, as you can see, and that will just completely vanish the manoeuvre node. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get past the moon. Now looking at this 302 fuel left, it might be possible. It just might be possible. At this point I'm going to press F5 for a quick save. So if everything does go wrong, we can hold down F9 and quick load back to this point here exactly. So let's time warp out towards the moon, and we will, oh, I should have done my experiment, never mind, we'll do that when we've got orbit of Kerbin again. That mission we had to do, science from space around Kerbin, yeah, I didn't do that, because as you can see we can warp quite fast now. I'm going to slow this down here, and what we're going to do, we're going to get into, we're going to hit this part here. This is what's it called? Oh, I've gone completely blank. This is where we come into contact with the moon's sphere of influence. There's the correct word for it. I can't remember what it is. That's really embarrassing, folks. I'm really sorry. This is where we come in to approach the moon. This yellow bit here is where we're in the moon's sphere of influence, and it's going to have an effect on our trajectory. Encounter! That's the word! Encounter. This is where we'll encounter the moon. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to get out to here. Once we encounter the moon sphere of influence, I'm going to do the first set of experiments. I'm not going to do the Science Junior. I'm going to save that one for as close as possible to the moon, because we can't reset it. So I'm going to do that. I'll do a goo and stuff, and then once we hit our periaps over here, I can just manipulate it. Once we hit our periaps, we're going to burn retrograde. Now I'm sure most of you can figure out what that's going to mean, but if we hit retrograde here, it's going to bring our trajectory, the escape trajectory, down, and so much so that we'll actually end up orbiting the moon, which is a great place to be if you do in fact want to land on it. You'll have a bit more control, a bit more time to get things done, and you won't be flapping. So let's just zoom up, time warp into the sphere of influence, into our encounter, and here we can see, boom, let's just time warp that down. Come on, there we go. There we go, look, there's our trajectory. We are now in the moon sphere of influence. So let's get ahead to our spacecraft and let's do the first round of experiments. So we'll log the temperature from here, and it's in space high over the moon, 16 science for a temperature log. Thank you very much. Observe mystery goo. Well, we get 20 science for that, and let's hit a crew report. And as you can see, 10 science, we'll get 100% of that science if we send it. I'm going to do it. We're going to transmit that. We've got 100% chance. Look at the dent that's just put in our electric charge, and you can see that's gone down considerably. We have just got 10 science for doing that, which is absolutely fantastic. And perfect timing. We have pink screen of death. I'm going to pause ever so quickly and I'll be right back. I do apologise. And so pink screen of death all dealt with. What we're going to do now is something pretty funky. We are going to do an EVA report. So we're going to pop out, okie doke, and we are going to take our first EVA report. 16 science just for doing an EVA report. Let's get back on board. So yeah, there we go. We've got our crew report that we took, that all the data has been transferred back to Kerbin. So we've got some of that data. We've completed a couple of our missions. If we look here, the first one I imagine will be fly by the moon, and the second is transmit or recover scientific data from enemies. So we've got 15,000 for that, plus 6 science, and there's the fly by the moon, 100,000. Look at that. That's not our money. That was a stupid thing to do. That's our altitude, and 8 science for that as well. So that's wonderful. Thank you very, very much. Back up to 212 and 80. We already have enough left for the next part of our experiment. So what we're going to do now is come over to here, our periapsis. We're going to add a manoeuvre, and we're going to hit retrograde until we achieve an orbit. There you go. There's an orbit, nice and simple. It's going to take 249 delta V, which shouldn't be too long. The reason it's not giving us an estimated burn is because the game actually crashed on me, as is its wont. So it's lost all of the previous data for what we're doing. Now, as you can see, please excuse me, I'm so sorry you just heard that. As you can see here, this purple line, if we were to complete our trajectory, our escape trajectory, it would throw us out, way out of Kerbin's sphere of influence and actually into the sun's sphere of influence. We would literally be just orbiting the sun and in a whole lot of trouble. But not to worry, because we're going to create a manoeuvre, or we have created a manoeuvre, and we are going to use that to our advantage and get ourselves back on track to where we want to be. So let's just get onto that, cancel out that, right, stop, thank you, get ourselves over to there. That's where we want to be. SAS is on, not joining the pack is where we are. So let's just head towards, I'll tell you what we're going to do actually. Although there was a quick burn, just to give us an idea of how long it wants us to burn for. Okay, there you go, so 27 seconds, so about 14 seconds we will initiate our orbital burn. We're going to press F5 again here to save this point. So we've done that with all the science. We've got a bit of science data on here. So let's start approaching the moon. And here we get our first real look at it. All the craters and everything. There's loads of stuff on the moon. I don't know if any of the Easter eggs are still on there. And when I say Easter eggs, what I mean is there were some archways and other bits and pieces that were there. Obviously there's different heights, all the craters and stuff. About the lowest safe orbit distance for the moon is somewhere in the region of about 10,000 kilometers. You wouldn't want to go underneath that. just to be on the safe side, because if you've got a nice low orbit, there are some craters that stick out really high and cause all kinds of problems. I'm going to pause it there. I know this is quite bad form, but the last time I did this it completely and utterly broke, so I'm going to attempt to fix pink screen of death with you guys here. I'm really sorry if it goes wrong, but we shall see. Is it going to break? Yeah, it's going to break. Okie doke, really sorry folks, I should be back ever so quickly. Okay, so we've just resumed from our last save point, so we're just going to pop back down towards here. I'm going to do another experiment now quickly, just to see if it's any different from the previous one. It's high over the moon. No, so we've done that one, so we're going to reset that experiment and just get ourselves a little bit closer still towards our orbital maneuver node. Let's try this one. So mystery goo. Space high over the moon still. No, okay, that's fine, so we'll reset that experiment. Let's head towards our node. If I remember rightly, it was about 14 seconds away from what we wanted to be before we burnt. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the map and see where we are. Yep, we're there, about 14 seconds away. We want to start that burn. I could, in fact, let's just do this with retrograde. Just hold the retrograde marker before. Oh, I didn't pay any attention. Whoops, I was still in time warp mode. Let's watch this down. Apologies, folks. That was a bit of a cock up from me. But we're burning on our retrograde. Valentina is holding retrograde for us very nicely. As you can see, burning retrograde, our miniscape is coming down rapidly, and we will shortly about to be orbiting the moon. As you can see, our delta V is coming down quite nicely. And there we go, folks. We are in orbit. There is no two ways about it. Boom. We have just orbited the moon. And that's another part of the mission completed. 3 reputation and another 15,000 credits. Thank you very much. Now, what's the fuel situation doing? 256 units of fuel. I do not believe I have enough fuel to successfully orbit. So, to successfully land and get back up from the moon. So we're going to pop back down to our thing. In fact, we're going to burn a little bit more just to get our apparatus down nice and low. Let's kill that off. I don't want that there anymore. Let's pull that down low so we're no longer in space high above the moon. And when they start to swap, they'll do it. 16,000, 44,000. We're going to time warp ourselves just around the moon, just so we can get a good look at it. And you can see here we have a plane change. That's because when we came into the moon we weren't quite exactly central along the equator, if you like. So its sphere of influence has changed our trajectory. So let's hit the M key. And there we can see, ladies and gentlemen, the surface of the moon. Let's just put that on standard. Okay, let's just turn the SAS off. Save the electricity. We've got lots of electric charge, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's hit ourselves another crew report from here. 100%'s worth. Let's do it. Let's get it out there. Sent that off. Fantastic. So we've got time for another crew report from somewhere else. That's wonderful. Let's observe the mystery goo here and see what it says here. In space near the moon. It seems to be less dense here and is worth 30 science. Thank you very much. We'll take that. Let's log the temperature here. 24 science for temperature. We'll keep that. Thank you very much. Let's save it. Let's save it. I've quick saved. Do I or do I not have a go at landing on the moon? I don't think I've got enough fuel to do it. I really don't. But there's only one way to find out. We've saved it there. Let's not save it again. Let's get back to the map view. Let's get back round to here. Let's get that periaps. We want that on the light side. So we'll burn our periaps from here and get... In fact, we're going to burn retrograde here. I know it might seem strange, but we want to bring... We want to be able to come down on the light side of the moon, obviously. So let's just have a little burn and watch this come down. Above that, we've got 9,700. Let's It's not quite the light side, is it? Let's push to here and just do another tiny little burn. I am sure 233 is not enough to get us down and back again with the size of craft that we've got in the engine. I am sure of it. But it's me, so we're going to try it anyway, because it'll be fun. So we're going to stop about here. We'll do another retrograde burn and just see what happens. Tiny little retrograde burn and bringing that down very, very nicely. Let's not go too fast. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, this is not the most effective use. Okay, we're just going to go for it. From here, we're just going to go for it. Like I say, I've saved it. Let's just burn. Full burn. Press G to get the landing gear down. Get it off time warp. Get it off SAS because it burns up too much electric. Obviously this doesn't use any electric. Generate any electric, sorry, this engine doesn't generate any electric. So let's stay on our retrograde marker. As you can see here, our orbital speed is decreasing quite nicely, so we're starting to match the rotation of the planet and stop, not be moving further back. Because ideally, we want to come straight down. If we can land this straight down, we are laughing. I'm just going to keep this here to try and kill out our orbital speed. I should really be chasing that down, but I'm not. I'm just trying to bleed off all of that orbital speed that we've got, which I've done, or for the most part. 146 fuel. This is not looking good, folks. This is not looking good for a return trip, but we'll try it. No, let's kill that. Let's just time warp until we get closer to the surface. That's quite close. Let's get that on retrograde and let's burn. And let's see if we can't slow down enough to get ourselves to land on the moon. Even if it's just me showing you landing on the moon, at least we're doing something. Let me show you how it's done. Now, using the retrograde marker can be quite dangerous because if you bounce when you land, SAS will instantly try and spin you around retrograde, which is not what you want to do. So be aware of that if you use this method for landing. It's not massively effective. Be very, very ready to turn your SAS off as soon as you get close enough. Where's our shadow? Why don't we have a shadow? Not enough. Oh, this is sketchy. There it is. There it is. So I'm going to get ready to turn this SAS off. Just manage our speed down nice and slow. Bit too slow. And SAS off. And I didn't turn the engines off. Oh my god, I can't believe I turned the SAS off and not the engines. Let's see what happens, folks. What happens is a disaster. Let's hold F9. I held F9. Yes, I did just blow up and explode, and it's entirely my own fault. We're going to go back to where we were, and we're going to head back to Kerbal, I think. I really don't think we've got enough fuel to get off. One more try, maybe. Maybe. We're quite close here. It's about managing the fuel really more than anything else. No, that's just brought the parry-ups down too much. That wasn't clever. So as a beginner, having the F5, the quick load and the quick save options, they are really, really handy, clearly. Obviously really, really handy. So let's get back to it and let's see if we can't set up a burn that's going to change our apple-ups and parry-ups sufficiently enough to get us a landing on the bit of the moon that we want to land on. Yeah, because that's what we want at the end of the day. We want to be able to... I get myself confused. Right, so let's stick to the mission. We know you haven't got enough fuel to do it. That's quite clear. So let's observe our materials bay from here as well and see what kind of science that gets us. 75 science, that's just wonderful. Absolutely ridiculous. That's almost a stage all by itself. Have we done the crew report? Yeah, we've done the crew report, so that's done. So let's get ourselves an EVA report from here. Hey Valentina, don't fall off. Get an EVA report. So that's that done. We've kept hold of that. Let's get back inside. That's all done. Let's head ourselves back to Kerbin and see where we get to. So if we add a maneuver node here and push the prograde out, it's going to push us straight back towards Kerbin, which you might think is brilliant, but it's not. We've ended up quite far away from it. Our peri-apps and apple-apps are massive, and we need an awful lot amount of fuel. An awful lot of fuel to get back in onto Kerbin. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much, folks. I'm really sorry. If we had a burn on the other side, I've just done retrograde there, haven't I? Not prograde yet. So if we had a burn on this side, it pushes us out there and still keeps us absolutely miles away. But there we go. You see that? It's tucked us in quite nicely with a perhaps 9-10. So we want to get it for 41. We'll take 41. Yeah, we'll take 41 because we don't want to come in too hot. Remember that. We don't want to come in too hot, but we also don't want to come in too cold. I know it sounds strange, but we don't want to get the angles too wrong. 52, I'd be a lot more comfortable with. It's got an 8 in it, it's not ideal, but I'll be more comfortable with that. So we're going to use that as a maneuver node. So that's one bend straight off of the moon back into the Kerbal sphere of influence and back onto Kerbal itself. So let's head out. We've got a nice little arrow telling us where our target vector marker is, which is there, which is lovely. Let's just cancel that spinning out, please. Thank you very much. I don't want to be spinning. So that's there. We're 19 minutes away. We've just done a really quick burn just to see what we need. 1 minute 15 second burn, so about 30, let's call it 37 seconds because I don't like 8. So that, thank you. So yeah, let's time warp down to that and then create that burn, and let's head back towards Kerbin. Come on. We haven't got all day. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Let's burn. So let's get back out to this map view, and we will see. We'll see our apple-apps dive out here, and what eventually will happen is we'll have burnt enough to completely escape the sphere of influence of the moon. Let's see, plenty of fuel for this, absolutely plenty. So we're screaming out, and here it comes, tucking itself back in quite nicely. We've got to throttle down quite sufficiently. The other thing we could do is leave it there and just burn our apple-apps, which would be more fuel efficient, but we've got plenty of fuel, so we don't need to worry. So let's keep it here, throttle down a bit more, just so we can get a nice steady control on that. In fact, we're going to stop it in reorbit. That's what we're going to do. We'll stop and we'll reorbit at about 100,000. Just to slow ourselves down. We should have enough fuel to succeed at that. Just to make our re-entry a little bit easier. Because don't forget, if we're going, our apple-apps is the point on which we're moving slowest, and our peri-apps is the point on which we're moving fastest. So if we come in too fast, we're not doing ourselves any favours. We're really not. So let's get rid of that. That's our new orbit right there. We're just about to leave the moon. Come on. There we go. There's our escape trajectory there. Boom. We're back in Kerbal sphere of influence. There it is. Let's zoom. Oh crikey, I went too far. Now that is a real problem. Has that blown our ship up? That was very, very silly of me. Very, very silly. I didn't do myself any favours there. Let's get out to the map view and see what it's going to do. Is this going to have a drastic effect on our... No, we got away with it. It's a bit of a glitch. If you go too fast, you will miss the actual effects as you've shot past it too quickly. We've just encountered the moon there. We really need to slow down now. Oh, of course we didn't, because that's the... I mean, that's just a huge, huge balls up. That really is. Let's get our SAS on. Let's burn a little bit retrograde. All kinds of problems. As you can see, we're about to re-encounter the moon here. Are you going to... Yeah, there we go. Let's just burn a little bit. to try and stop that from happening. We've got quite a steep area, so we should now be entering the atmosphere of the Earth, of Kerbin, sorry. So let's go ahead and walk towards that happening. Slow down before it. We're on the dark side, which is a shame. We are going to... I mean, we're travelling fast. We are going to eject our landing stage at this point. It's been very good to us. We're very, very thankful for it. Let's just do that for the science experiments around Kerbin. Let's keep that data. It didn't go. Why not? We're in orbit. Why did that not work? Perhaps we already did it. Log temperature here. No. Log temperature here. Yeah, no, that's not flashing it up. Okay. Perhaps I've done something wrong to complete that. I'm not sure. Perhaps because we're so low. Let's get rid of that stage. Thank you very, very much. We have our heat shield here that should keep us nice and safe as we re-enter. And let's walk through and see what happens. And we're going to turn that epoxy SAS off. Causing some spin. Perhaps let's turn our SAS back on. It's not draining our battery too much. I'm really sorry to have landed this on the dark side. So here's the heat effects. We're coming in a lot faster than we ever have before. So we may see a heck of a lot more of this ablator shield run down. You can see our speed is decreasing massively, and we're just drifting off of our retrograde marker. So let's get through this. Yeah, the speed's coming down very, very nicely. I didn't use all the experiments. Perhaps should have done it. It's a shame that I didn't. We could have probably got one a little bit further out towards the moon. But yeah, here we go. Coming down nicely. I have no idea where we are. I haven't put any lights on. Let's get the speed. Wait till that gets under 300 meters per second. We're there. 1000. I think it's about time to deploy the chutes. Let's have a go at that, and we'll go to the map view and have a little look-see at where we land. So, chutes are deployed. Craft should be safe. Where are we landing? I can't even see from there. Okie doke, not sure. My bad. In future, I will endeavour to land on the light side of Kerbal, or Kerbin, so that we can all see it. Right, so we're falling down nicely, yada yada yada. Let's just get down, thank you very much. I think this is Greenfields. Yep, this is Greenfields. It's fantastic. We are going to be able to complete another experiment here, which is wonderful. And this might be a biome that we've not come to yet, so let's do our last mystery goo. Just like that. Have we got this one? Yes, we have. So we'll leave that. Let's wait till we hit the... Yeah, reset that. No idea where we've landed. Absolutely no idea. It's a little embarrassing. It would be funny if this is close to KSP, although they don't look like the quite right shape for the mountains. Not review data, no. Let's log that temperature. No science. So it looks like we've been here before and done the experiment. No, that doesn't. So we've done the temperature here before, but not... That's interesting. Anyway, let's do ourselves an EVA. EVA report. Kerbin's Highlands. No. Okay, so let's get down from here. Let's take that off for a start. Are we going to come down? Are we going to climb off at all? No, that didn't work. Let's see if we can EVA again. I'm trying to show you something different here, folks. Space, let go. There we go, we fell down. Wonderful. We're now on the surface. So, if we right click and do an EVA report from here, we've done one before. Okay, what we haven't done is take a surface sample. Boom! 9 science for a surface sample from Kerbin. We could also now go around to all the other biomes and do surface samples from there, just to pick up an extra 7 science for each of them, and probably close to 70 science, quite close to KSP. So yeah, it could be worth doing. If I was going to do that, I'd do it off screen, but we're going to go ahead and recover this vessel now. We should have received quite a nice amount of science for getting all the way up there and all the way back again. We're on 104 science there for the 9 science and the 0. Recovery of vessel that survived a flight. Yeah, okay. Nothing. 1 XP gained for Valentina for a flyby of the moon. And let's go ahead and see if we can't see. Right, we can't see our vessel anywhere on here. So let's go into our tracking station. Let's find the vessel and let's recover that vessel. How far away were we? And we just earned 224.5 science. In total we have 331, and that was literally for a couple of missions and a fly by the moon, which is just stonking. 11 experiments in total recovered. Really pleased with that. Nice wad of science. 55% away, so we were quite far away from KSP when we landed, but we still gained 6.5 for what we bought back in total. And our total funds are now up to 252. Well, don't know about you lot, but I'm pleased with that. That is nice. I think we landed around here somewhere in the Highlands, and KSP is... Oh, I'm getting myself all confused now. KSP is here, I think. Where are we? Yep, KSP. I'm pretty sure KSP is just here. So we were quite far away. Very quite far away on the dark side. So could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse, but we got some of our money back. So, shall we go ahead and have a little look-see, either at what missions are available or what... Let's have a look at what missions are available before we go straight ahead and visual surveys of the moon. So we need to fly out to the moon, get into orbit, take a crew report and come back, and it'd give us 170,000, 170, nearly 180,000... 118, nearly 200,000 credits, nearly, and only 3 science. But it's a nice watch, and it's just to get out to the moon. Plant a flag on the moon. There's another look at that. That's a lot of money right there, an awful lot of money. We have 9 years to complete it, so not too bad. Let's use some of the moon. June is the next one. Look at that. What we really want is Minmus missions. We really do want Minmus missions. What do we have active? Explore the moon. So all we have left to do now is get onto the surface of the moon and come back again. What to do? We know we have a craft that's capable of, or at least a launch stage that's capable of getting us up into a good orbit and putting us into a good transfer. Yeah, we do. We do have what we need. Maybe a little bit more fuel, and maybe tweak that rocket a little bit. I'm not sure. Let's get into R&D. We have enough for two more of the nodes in this tech tree. So I guess realistically we need to decide what we want to do. Our first probe part there with SAS, which would be good for satellites. We have our first photovoltaic panel, solar power, which is wonderful. No need to take as many batteries. The ladders for the missions on the ground in Kerbin, as well as a new science experiment to do, a barometer for atmospheric pressures, so would only be good for Kerbin. So yeah. Advanced flight control would be an advanced SAS rather than just an inline reaction wheel that we got from here. This would be an advanced reaction wheel, which would have a lot more effect, a lot more torque available to it, plus monopropellants, plus a new part for landing, a new pods to use, an actual can on top for landers, which could be good, a monopropellant, which is wonderful to have. Better landing gear, bigger heat shield, so we could use bigger pods, and the actual landing gear that will retract for planes. Quite happy with our planes at the moment. This one I'm tempted by. This one I'm really tempted by, and shall I tell you why? Because it's fairings, and I have not used fairings before, and that could mean that we build up our nice little lander and just shroud it all off very nicely into a nice little cone on the end, and it hides away all of the nastiness. But I've not played with fairings yet, so perhaps for now I'll leave that. Here we have the bigger parts, different decouplers, Rockomax brand adapter. Can't remember what that does, if that's a... I thought that was some kind of docking device, but I could, well, I clearly am wrong. Or propulsion systems would give us, again, some different fuel tanks, and the little spark engine, the bit, or to say little, it's a big, no it's not, it's tiny, absolutely tiny, but does quite well, and it does do quite well, but I'm not so sure on that bit yet. We do have enough, in fact, to even go out into much bigger tanks, and we could even get ourselves the mainsail engine, which has an absolutely ridiculous amount of thrust. What's that? 1379 thrust against our 568, but obviously it's going to eat through the fuel a lot quicker, but it's going to get us up and out, and it'll give us this one as well, which is also enormous and is twin engines. So I'm going to save that for now. At the moment we've got ourselves orbiting quite nicely. I think what we should probably do is start looking at what's going to help us get out to the moon and back again with more ease. That's clearly quite important, and I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure that this ladder is going to be massively helpful, and so are the electrics. So we're going to go ahead and take the electrics. It's going to give us lights for when we're landing in dark areas, and we are going to go ahead and take ourselves that little ladder there. My math sucks. We got enough for another one. That's good news. Do we take the fairings? Fairings, different decouplers, we're fine with. But do we need fairings? I don't think we need the fairings. I really don't. I think we're aerodynamic enough to not worry about it so much yet. I'm not really worried about the landing legs, miniaturization. Let's go for advanced flight control. Let's go ahead with monopropellant. Let's get the better reaction wheel. We've clicked it. We've got it. There we go. Science has been spent. What to do now? Do we try and land on the moon, or do I take you out to Minmus and actually show how it can be done a lot more effectively? Not sure what to do. I think the best thing to do would be to carry on with the missions that we have. I think that's going to be a better thing to do. I think that's going to be a much better thing to do. So let's have a look at our missions. Let's see what we've got. Realistically, we want to finish off the moon one, and if I get the plant a flag, let's plant a flag on the moon. You know, if it ties us down, it makes me want to do that one, doesn't it? That's exactly what it makes me want to do. So let's take that mission as well. It's a good wad of funds. We are going back to the moon, folks, and we are going to science. Oh, we did do that mission. I do apologise. We had to actually take it back. We had done it. Sorry. Yeah, we did that. Wonderful. Yeah, look, 300. We got 3 more science for it. 311 credits. Let's get back into the VAB and let's just make a couple of adjustments to the rocket we've already got, the Rooster, that clearly works very, very well. So let's see what we can do with the Rooster. Let's see what we can... The Mark II. Let's load that, fix the staging. Excuse me a second, I have to have a quick cough. So let's see what we can do to the Rooster Mark II just to make it that little bit more effective at getting us up and out into the atmosphere. And I think what we're going to do, well, we're not going to do that, that would be stupid. Let's go to our fuel tanks. Let's just pop, let's get rid of that. Let's pop another one of the doubles on there, like, well, not like that, like that. Let's get that skipper engine back on there. Right, so let's get the fins back and let's get that thrust limiter off. So that's that there. Let's get our fins back into place. All the struts have gone, but that's fine. The delta wings, let's just make sure that's back to 4. Get them nicely near the bottom. Well, that's not centre, is it? I've just done it again. Let's pay some attention, please, Ben. There we go. Nicely square on. I'm surprised. I honestly, genuinely and honestly surprised at how little I struggled to get that into orbit, and that is genuine surprise. That really did work remarkably well, and so I'm very pleased, very pleased with that. We didn't take the aerodynamics, did we? No, but what we did do is we took the ladder. Now this is very important, because when we land, what we're going to have to do in essence is, oh no, I need to change, right, okay, I'll explain why I'm doing this in a second, or at least it will make more sense to you in a second. We'll put those there and we'll get the goo canisters like so. We've got the ladder, so let's use it. Well, let's not have it on 4 of them, because we only want 1. Wonder if that'll be enough. Not sure. We're going to put our ladders all the way down this craft, so that when we land on the moon, yes ladies and gentlemen, when we land on the moon, not if but when we land on the moon, our Kerbal can literally walk straight down from there to the surface. Otherwise we've got to muck around with an awful lot of flying through the air with monopropellant, which we will get to. I will show you, I promise. You know me, I don't leave things out if I can get away with it. That's just going to eject off when that goes, isn't it? So if we take that off, yeah, that's not there. Okay, fantastic. So we now have a lovely long ladder. It's a little excessive, I'll grant you. I do apologise. We're going to pop those off there. Just going to add a tiny bit more fuel to this landing stage. We've done an awful lot with getting more fuel down below, and we have a great amount of propulsion. We have everything we want there. Those are now unlimited, so they'll come off a bit quicker. That's got a little bit more fuel to it, so it should last longer. We'll see. We're going to take up the same experiments again, just to see if we can pick up a little bit more science in other places. There is almost no point in taking the barometer, because it's just for atmospheric pressure. Yeah, and there obviously isn't an atmosphere on the moon on Minmus. Oh, pink screen of death. Sorry folks, back in a second. And welcome back from pink screen of death. So yeah, a few adjustments that we've made there. I'm starting to think that that's just not a stable way to try and land that craft. I'm thinking we're going to put 3 of these on. Aerodynamically, that might cause us problems. Might. But on the other hand, it might not. There's only one way to find out. Yes, it's a lot heavier, I know, but when it comes to landing, I mean, alright, my attempted land last time was pretty botched, and I'm really sorry for that. Really not my best moment. I can do a hell of a lot better than that, as you will see. This rocket's costing us 44, or nearly 48,000. But if we complete the missions that we've got, then we should do an awful lot better. And of course, we haven't actually taken any experiments from the surface of the moon. So yeah, we could be in for a nice amount of science there as well. Plus we can take a surface sample as well, which is worth a great deal of science. And I think we're going to head to that in the next video. I'm not sure how long this is, because I didn't stop my timer properly. My timer's on 52 minutes, so we're probably, sorry, on 42 minutes, so we're probably a bit longer than that because I forgot to start it. So yeah, we're going to give this a go, but we'll do it in the next video. I'm excited to get it to try it out. Let's hope I've done enough with what we've got aerodynamically to do it. If not, we may even try and chuck 3 of these on. We'll see how we get on. So yeah, look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I've been BRG, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all later.